What a crazy year 2023 has been. Yep, that's right. We did 32 videos, 250,000 views, and almost 2,500 new subscribers. First of all, I just want to thank every single one of you that watch these videos, that support me, that follow along with this journey. And I'll tell you, this journey is about to get a lot crazier. Before we get into that crazy news, all right, it just seems like towards the end of every year, I've got like a bombshell to drop for you guys, right? A couple years ago, it was the fact that I got military orders to move to Jacksonville.
I am moving to Jacksonville, Florida.
And then last year, right at New Year's, I told you guys I was having a baby.
I'm going to become a father.
And this year is no different. We've got some crazy news. Before I get into that, I just want to touch on the year really quick. It's crazy to think that this time last year, all the vehicles I had, I no longer have, right? That's crazy to think about, right? We had the Shelby GT350R, we had the Ford Raptor, we had the Honda S2000, and we also had the Jeep TJ. Probably the craziest thing that happened in 2023 that sparked a lot of that garage shuffle was when the S2000 got rear-ended. That really took a lot of wind out of my sails building that little track car. And I will say, I think everything happens for a reason. Thankfully, I wasn't injured and I was able to really invest some of that money that insurance paid me, also get out of the S2000. That inspired me to just focus on a lightweight car, which inspired me to sell the Shelby, which then inspired me to buy the Alfa Romeo 4C. So that was just like a domino effect that the year got crazy. Honestly, it was just wild after the S2000 got hit. And I will say I have no regrets. I love the little Alfa 4C. It's incredibly special. I do miss the S2000 a lot. The Shelby, whatever, cool car, amazing car. I just don't really miss it that much. We did spend a decent amount of time on track this year, which I'm thankful for. Obviously mostly in the Alfa Romeo 4C, which I've learned a lot about that car. I'm really starting to understand how it drives, how it feels, and I've built some great relationships with companies that make parts for the Alfa Romeo 4C, and that's been fantastic. We did get to experience the Mustang Dark Horse a little bit on track. Obviously, I took the Tesla Model Y Performance on track, which was, kind of silly, but overall, a decent amount of track time this year, and I'm happy with that. Some other things that happened recently is I bought a cinema camera. Now, if there are any OG subscribers, a long time ago, I bought my first cinema camera, and I was doing a little bit more short film type stuff with it, and I sold it, and I really missed having a really high-end, high-spec camera. So I bought another one. And the first time really I used it, or I tried to use it, was when I shot Courtney and his Mustang GT350R trying to set the lap record at the firm. I actually had a lot of comments on that video about how good it looked and everything, and that was my first time using it. They're a lot more complicated than just my normal mirrorless camera that I run around with. But image quality with that has been incredible. I did get to use this camera for work where I shot a really cool Puerto Rican music video. I had a blast, and I'll tell you right now, the image of that music video looks fantastic. I'm just learning this camera more and more, and eventually I am going to do a little bit more documentary stuff and filmmaking stuff, because I really do enjoy that part. I like the filming and editing of this YouTube channel, of content in general, not just pointing the camera at me, right, or whatever. I like filming other things and trying to tell stories with my camera, and the cinema camera really takes that image and capabilities to the next level. I'm going to link that video in the description down below. If you have like 2 minutes, watch the video. It's on Facebook. It would be really funny if you guys commented something like All-American Driver, All-American filmmaking skills to the max. This video looks incredible, something like that. It would be funny to see a little bit of my audience interacting with the Navy in that context. And that's just for me, it could be a silly comment, but anyways, that would be funny. That'll be linked below if you guys want to check out the full version. And then following up, I have, some bad news, some good news, some bad news, some good news. To start off with some good news, Sage, my son, he's doing really well. Andre and I couldn't be more happy with Sage in general. He's healthy, he's happy, he's thriving, and that's obviously the most important thing right now in our lives. And that's just been a joy to watch him grow and hit these little milestones and connect and everything like that. You dads out there know what I'm talking about, but that's been fantastic. Speaking of newborns, on the flip side, I did have a really, really prominent family member pass away recently, and that's been tough for me and the family. We also had to go to San Diego a couple times, even with the newborn. We took Sage on a plane, and so that's been tough going back and forth, and just the emotional kind of roller coaster of that. And anyways, nothing can be done. He's in heaven, and we're thankful, for the time we got to spend. But anyways, that was something I was dealing with. And then also, I'm back at work. So I don't know if you guys know this, but with the Navy, when you have a child, the father gets 3 months off of work paid. And so I had a lot of time to be at home, help Andrea with Sage. And, her mom is in town now helping out, which has been a godsend, to be honest. And then now that I'm back at work, things have gotten even more complicated with just work schedule and trying to balance the YouTube channel, life, my health, my fatherhood, basically, my son and work and all this stuff. So that's been crazy, So still the fact I'm able to pump out some videos here and there, I've been very thankful for. As far as plans moving forward, we still have parts for the Alfa Romeo 4C behind me. We've got some parts. We definitely want to hit a sub 120 at the firm sooner than later. So expect that towards the beginning of the year. I also want to venture out to a couple more racetracks this year. Roebling is one I want to drive. Sebring, I got to drive at least once. I've been spending a lot of time on the sim rig driving Sebring. I feel like I know that track pretty well to not just show up and learn the track, but show up and drive a competitive lap. So that's kind of in my mind. If I have the time and the money, I would like to put a run together to go to Circuit of Americas for Super Lap Battle this year. I'm not 100% sure I'm going to make it. It's complicated. The time off work, how do I get there, the cost involved with that. But Super Lap Battle at Circuit of the Americas is on the list. I would like to try to make that this year. Another thing that has happened recently is I have actually started another YouTube channel. Now, let me explain. This is a little bit funny, but when Sage was born, I don't know if you guys probably know this, right? Everyone says when you have a kid, you'll change. Life will change. Things change, okay? And I didn't really know how that was going to manifest in me, all right? Because honestly, I'm a pretty selfish person. But one of the biggest things that changed with me were financial decisions, financial choices, financial planning, things like that. And I've always been pretty good about saving for my retirement, even though I'm going to get a military pension. But I have definitely blown a lot of money, specifically on cars, cameras, things like that. I have some very expensive hobbies. And so I've been wanting to start another YouTube channel that I can just sit down in front of camera and talk, a talking head channel, basically. So I have started a basically dividend investing channel where I'm trying to invest money in the stock market in companies that pay dividends with the goal of making enough dividend income to buy a Lamborghini. It's crazy. I know it's crazy. It might take a long time. I'll link that below if you guys want to follow along. You're not going to see any crazy car driving action or whatever, but you will see some behind the scenes type things about automotive financials, my financials, where I'm investing, things like that, whatever. So that channel is called Health, Wealth, and Lamborghinis. So we'll see. That might also turn into a little bit of podcast stuff where I can kind of talk about everything. But I did start that little just talking head YouTube channel. And then finally, you guys want to hear the crazy news? So I'm in the Navy. Andrea's in the Navy. We're both active duty military sailors, and we're good sailors, okay? Your tax-paying dollars are well spent, at least on me and her, okay? I'll tell you right now, we do good work for you guys. And I'm at 18 years. So once I hit 20 years, I can retire if I want. I get my military pension. I can do whatever I want. I could take this full time. I'm not exactly sure. Or I could stay a little bit longer and increase my pension. Andrea has a lot longer to stay in the military than I do until she reaches retirement. So I'm kind of in a strange situation. Anyways, I'm at 18 years, right? Recently, our detailer came to my building where I work, and he's the one that says, okay, you're going to go here, you're going to go here, we really need you here. And I play drums for the Navy band, okay? And there are not a lot of me, okay? There may be maybe 15 drummers in the entire Navy. And so when you need a drummer somewhere, somebody's going there. You know, if you need a drummer here, you might have to take this guy and go here, okay? So I don't have a lot of options on where I can go. But because I was so close to retirement, or I am so close to retirement, I walked into that meeting thinking, okay, maybe I'll extend here in Jacksonville. I said maybe they'll send me to San Diego because that's where I enlisted. That would make sense for me to end my military career the same place I enlisted. Or I was thinking, okay, well, maybe we'll go back to the Pacific Northwest because I miss all my friends up there a lot. And you know what he told me? Naples, Italy. That has just blown my world inside out. Can you imagine that? The all-American driver going to Italy for 3 years. Andrea, she's European, okay? She's very excited to go to Italy. Me, it's insane, okay? And that is really what sparked the idea of selling the Tesla. I can't take the Tesla over to Italy, right? The computer won't work. The Wi-Fi connection thing won't work. I tried to get on the Tesla forums and I was like, hey, has anybody taken a US car overseas? Some people said they did, and it was just a paperweight. Other people said it was cheaper to sell it here and buy a European Tesla because they're all programmed differently. So the Tesla is on its way out. And that's going to be sooner or later because values on Teslas are going down fast. So I need to find a replacement. I don't know exactly what I'm doing yet. I'll be honest with you guys. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing with the Alfa Romeo 4C. I don't know with another car. I don't know how this channel is going to continue when I get to Italy, but it's definitely going to continue. It's going to be a new chapter, the Italian chapter. But that just blew my mind. And I'll be honest, it's incredibly, incredibly stressful because, I mean, we have this house, we have all this stuff. And while I really do love serving in the military, it definitely is service to your country, right? There's a lot of benefits about being in the military, and I have a fantastic job, you know, being in the Navy band, but there are definitely a lot of sacrifices. And this last move, when I left Pacific Northwest, that really hit me. And then now moving to Italy. So I basically have a year left here. I don't have orders in hand, but it seems pretty likely that that's what I'm doing. So I'm really just trying to figure everything out. So as far as what I'm going to replace the Tesla with, it's got to be able to do everything, you know, that the Tesla can do. It's got to be able to take the dogs, have a car seat. It's got to be fun. It's got to be kind of fast. Because if that's the only car I'm taking to Italy, I need to be able to Autobahn and drive through the Alps and rip around and also park in small places and things like that. I just don't know. I don't know right now. It's really crazy. And if you guys have any ideas or thoughts, or maybe you've spent some time overseas, please let me know in the comments because I'm literally going crazy. This is the most stressful thing I think I've dealt with in a long time. So that's it. 2023 has actually been a really good year for me, for the channel, for my family, for work, everything like that. It's been great. I'm still having a good time in Jacksonville. I like all the cars we have. And I'm really looking forward to 2024, especially if this is going to be my last year stateside for a few years. So that's just going to be crazy. I appreciate everybody following along this little journey. I appreciate everybody subscribing, liking the videos. It really does help. And it encourages me to spend a lot of time, more time on these videos because you guys know, like, YouTube videos take a long time to make, especially automotive content. I mean, I'm out there in a car. I've probably got to spend money to do an event or buy a part or something like this. And then how do I film? Hey, buddy, can you drive my car so I can fly the drone? Hey, I need help. It's a lot of work. I really appreciate seeing the channel grow. Even though it's slow, I don't mind. But if the channel starts to go backwards, that's going to be really hard for me to deal with because I'm a pretty forward-thinking guy, a pretty momentum-carrying guy. So anyways, that's it. If you guys watched this long, thank you guys so much. You guys probably are somewhat connected to me and, you know, invested in my lifestyle with Andrea and the cars and driving and everything like that. And I really appreciate it, right? That's what makes this channel so great. I will see you guys next year. Have a great new year. I hope everyone had a good holiday and we'll be back with some action very soon. Jason Andrews, the All-American Driver. I will see you guys in the next video.